Hey, what is going on YouTube? Aaron here. We are back on the Mac, ladies and gentlemen. We have an epic replay for you guys. Make sure you guys stay to the end of this, and we will get back to this game, but I have a few announcements first. Number one, this was captured on my capture card. I was playing with Beast and Legendary off stream, so the quality is probably going to be a little bit better. Let me know what you guys think of the quality down below, and be expecting more of these replays. I still have a bunch from Twitch, which is a little bit of the framier, not so clear quality, so they will switch back and forth here, until we've got all our replays on the new capture card. But secondly, or thirdly here, I wanted to talk about cruiser positioning, and that's kind of the video. But the final point I wanted to make is I have to take the GRE on Friday, which is a graduate exam for physician assistant school. Apparently getting 60th percentile is not good enough for them, which is, I took the MCAT and got 60th percentile, which is better than 59% of current medical school students. So I am currently studying for that. I just wanted to make this video real quick just to give you guys a little heads up of where I've been and why I haven't been on streams. In a fifth or final point, one more final point here. I wanted to take a moment to invite people, new and old, who are may not already be on my Discord to take part in my weight loss or weight gain journey, fitness journey. I won't spend too much time talking about this, but Dirty Mike, aka Fat Guy Gaming, is taking a huge leap in bettering himself and bettering his health, and I am a huge proponent of that. That's why I'm trying to go to PA school and or medical school, and why I train people and why I train myself. I just feel better doing so. It gives me an excuse to drink every now and then. But no, in all seriousness, if you guys are trying to better yourself, I've already had a few huge success stories, John and Brian being a few of them. But anyway, we're going to get to the game here. Enough blabbering about that. I will link my Discord down below if you guys want to do that. But back to the game. So we have positioned ourselves with this island here, with Beast doing an excellent job. Legendary doing an excellent job of getting spots and getting in the cap. Unfortunately, our team at B was a failed division, and they decide to abandon B altogether and come around the long way to this side. So we will be getting put in a little bit of a pinch and a crossfire here, and unfortunately the Iowa does actually tick into the cap right before Legendary can get it, so he is forced to leave that. Playing in a division, as we know, can definitely increase your chance of winning, but there are two divisions on the enemy team, and those two divisions have two excellent players. The Baltimore and the Lennon on the enemy team played this game. This game literally comes down to the wire, if I didn't say it already. But anyway, we are positioning ourselves behind this island here, and you guys know I'm in my Baltimore. I'm trying to win. Anytime I'm in my Baltimore, I'm taking it a little bit more seriously, because I pride myself as being one of the best or better heavy cruiser players in the game. And some people think that you have to fight every game out in the open, and that is not the case. Two of the three ships here at our flank, as you can see, can overmatch every part of our armor. The Baltimore, while it is very strong and a heavy cruiser, does suffer from 27mm plating, so those Iowas can overmatch every part of our boat. Now, if you get a ship that, like a Tirpitz or a 15-inch battleship that you can bow tank, you can absolutely abuse them. But what we're doing here is we're utilizing island cover. Beast has moved up to take a little bit of the damage here, and also, just be a little bit closer. You don't need to be that far back, especially in a division, especially in a battleship, in his Missouri there. But we're going to take this time and just look at the board, and as you can see, our team, the team behind us, the division behind us, is slowly moving their way around. Because they're in a California and a Colorado, two battleships which should not be repositioning that much or wasting their time. The game is almost, 4 minutes in, 3.5 minutes in now, and they are not even in position to shoot a target. If you're going more than 5 minutes without shooting a target in the opening, section or time frame of the game, you're not really positioning yourself correctly. Now, I understand that B spawn, if there was a destroyer there, is absolute suicide for them, but you can still angle out and put yourself in a position to run without abandoning that flank. The main point you should draw away from this is abandoning the flank. Now, right now, Legendary has moved back into the cap, but because they abandoned B, the teammates, which are both a P-Bag and a Baltimore on the enemy team, have positioned themselves at A there. And I think there's also a Lennon in that position, but I don't know it right at this moment. I see this broadside Baltimore, and I think Legendary said he's under radar, so I went ahead and shot to, number one, give up my position and potentially draw some fire my way, as some people, like, oh, CC sometimes or whatever. But we actually catch this P-Bag broadside and, do what the Baltimore can do. As I mentioned, this enemy Baltimore actually plays this really well. He is angling and positioning himself excellent, in putting himself in excellent position there to tank or bounce my AP while still getting shots on the destroyer in the cap. Legendary also does an excellent job of avoiding most of that damage, but we do want to avoid damage ourselves as the Lenin takes a good broadside shot at us. We did just enough on the rudder there to turn out. And this is, again, in a position where I'm running away. People are like, well, fight like a man. Well, I proved nothing by sitting here and getting blapped by 16-inch guns and guns that can overmatch me. In the meantime, Legendary unfortunately takes a torpedo from the P-bag. It's just an unfortunate happenstance and a good set of torpedoes by him. But we're going to take one more salvo, or I believe we took one more salvo and got that fire, and we're going to go dark now, as the Lenin actually does another good job of getting a good salvo off on us. So this game is, this is the point of the game where a lot of people lose the game. Either playing in solo, playing in a division. Both Legendary and Beast were a little aggravated at our team's position. They abandoned B. They gave up, we are now in a crossfire or don't have great position because of their, abandonment of B. But I told them, I said, listen, boys, we're going to win this game. All right. We're going to try our butts off. And that's what you should do. Some games are insurmountable, and I got frustrated the other night, but you should still always try. So I'm going to reposition here. I went dark. I went back around. I know that Lenin is here, so I'm actually not going to shoot. This Iowa comes back in range on my right, and I'm not going to shoot until I'm behind island cover. The reason being is that Lenin has put himself in an excellent position on the mini-map where we just pinged. Now, most people, or some people, might get the itch to shoot in this situation, but it is a mistake. You want to get to this island cover. Now, he is closing the distance, but we do have concealment mods, so we can get very close to this island without being detected, and that is kind of what the strategy is here. Some people may be questioning why I'm not shooting, and that is the reason. But like I said before, I believe I got off topic, anytime you can utilize island cover, you should. The American cruisers, both the Heavy and Light, the Cleveland and the Baltimore, are island humping ships. You should be moving from island to island, cover to cover, smoke to smoke, in most circumstances. Mainly the Cleveland, because a lot can overmatch it, but the Baltimore in the situation when there is overmatch on my right and there is overmatch on my left. But if you notice, I already have 78,000 damage, which is pretty good, is pretty fair, I would say, for this point in the game. Now, obviously, my damage totals are higher than most, mainly because of my positioning, my shot selection, things like that. But trying to promote this information to the average player, 80,000 damage at this point in the game is excellent. So again, we're getting some shots off here. We're getting a little bit trolled by RNG. I could have switched to AP for the superstructure, but HE is the better choice in this situation. Despite us getting, you can see 5 shatters there. RNG is going to be RNG. It sucks, but it is what it is. I don't think this Iowa is running flammable cannon here, but we're still taking damage and providing additional firing solutions, from our position for our team. Now, I will admit, I've been talking here for about a minute and a half, and I should have moved a little bit sooner, but we go ahead and start to move here because we can see that our team needs us. Our team at C, while they did an all right job, they're all dead now, and unfortunately, that the enemy team they didn't take one of them with them. So they might have taken one, I'm not exactly sure, but you can see 3 gray squares there. So we're going to have to do some work in this game. Now, we saw that the Lenin was positioned over there. We actually come out broadside here, but we know that those ships are not spotted because the other battleships are right next to us, and they would either be shooting at them or detected by them. And Beast had also moved up, and I believe he said he had radar, so I know that those ships did not have my broadside. But now I am just telling these two who have been less than ideal teammates at this point to go ahead and move forward. There should be absolutely no reason, especially if they abandon the B flank, for them to be behind me. I had to kind of secure that flank and that firing angle on that Iowa. There's no reason for them to be there. They haven't shot their guns maybe but 2 times this entire match, and there's 6 minutes left. We're down on caps, we're down on points, and we are tied on ships. So it's just one of those situations where you just have to position yourself a little bit better. People wonder why they can't get damage challenges or citadel challenges. It's like, well, you're mispositioning. Here's another example of why this Baltimore player is actually very good, and another example of what you should be doing as a cruiser player as well. We go ahead and wait to shoot here until we're very close, and we actually are behind this island. Number 1, it does not alert the player when I shoot at them, me being detected. Number 2, it keeps me concealed as there's a bunch of battleships and other ships out there that can hurt me. But we did get another decent salvo on him, took out a turret. He turned in, again, so like I said, a smart play from him. But we see another radar cruiser on the board, and you can see Legendary on the mini-map going north there, so we want to take off or take out that radar cruiser as quickly as possible. I've said it before and I'll say it again, anytime you can take out or shoot at a radar cruiser, you should be doing so. It is 1000% your job as a DPM cruiser that the Baltimore is, as well as a battleship. When I see battleships sailing their shots beyond to hit other battle-tanking battleships, a little bit of me dies inside. And then those battleship players complain about destroyers. Well, your cruisers are dead because you didn't support them. Or your enemy, friendly destroyers are dead. But regardless of that, we have a bunch of ships to deal with here. I'm just going to play this island. I'm going to wait for the enemy to make mistakes, as Legendary is actually under radar from the other Baltimore, which we cannot shoot. Like I said, he did a fantastic job. There's nothing I could do but just hope Legendary survives, and he actually does with a sliver of health. I think he said he had 73 health to play with there, so an excellent job by the enemy of focus firing him to death nearly. So I told him to stay, well out of range. He is just a spot in a torp boat at this point. So a strategy you can use is to stay close to the enemy radar range. For example, that Baltimore has approximately a 9-kilometer radar. So if you stay around 9 or even 9-1, you can be out of that range and safe. Something I like to do if I'm solo or if I'm trying to bait out a radar is I will get around 8-8. Shoot or wait for them to radar and then get out of it, turn away, obviously. That's just a little bit of strategy and a little tip you guys can pick up on. But we're utilizing the silent cover. Beast is doing a fantastic job of tanking here and trying to take out those ships. We are abusing water rebuild a little bit, as our... If we didn't have water rebuild, this game would have turned out another way, but it's still a perk I'm very questionable and hesitant on, because I think invincibility overall is not a great thing, but it helps us in this case. The Freeson goes ahead, went ahead and popped out there, shooting, and Legendary still hasn't detected, but he stopped shooting and he's going to go dark, but Beast actually gets a fantastic salvo right after mine and takes him off the board. So we are now up heavily on ships. If we play this right, we can easily win this game, as we also just ticked our Confederate there. So we've been shooting a lot of targets. Your job in a cruiser should be to aim for Confederate medals. You shouldn't really focus on medals or damage or things like that. You should focus on position and how you can help your team. But as a cruiser player, if you're getting Confederates, you're absolutely doing your job of shooting multiple targets, DPM, things like that. Now each cruiser is different, and a radar cruiser is meant to radar, but that's just a little side point. In the meantime, though, we're going to try and get at least one of these. I'm trying to shoot this Baltimore, but like I said, he's doing a fantastic job of angling. I'm not sure if he's using an agile build or what, but he's moving his rudder pretty fast. I would never, curse my Baltimore with an agile build, but he's angling well, so he's doing his job. He's drawing out damage. Beast takes a shot, and like I said, he's angling, so he's missing a few of those, and again, he's doing his job. The Colorado goes down, and all of a sudden the California grows a set of wings and decides to round that corner in front of 3 ships, 2 of which being battleships. Not sure why he decided to do that. Him and the Colorado were holding hands the entire game, and then at the end, when they actually needed to hold hands, they split up. It was questionable, but we get a broadside salvo on that Baltimore as the Lenin comes around the corner, and unfortunately we get 3 overpens and a pen. Not sure where they went, but we actually get a massive Citadel here as the Lenin does what I was expecting him to do. I'm lucky I wasn't death struck through the front there, but we get another salvo on him. As you can see, his health start to tick back up. I'm pretty sure it's will to rebuild. It could have been a heal. Regardless, we need to get him off the board. I still have AP loaded, so I want to shoot superstructure. You see we actually get a little bit of damage there, but not much, as I'm contemplating which target to shoot before I go down. I could have angled slightly here, but like we mentioned, the Baltimore's covered in 27. There is no casemate, so he can overmatch every part of our boat, except for the Citadel belt, which is a sliver, maybe 2 inches above the waterline. But regardless of that, we actually tick the high caliber there. As the Colorado turns around, removing the will to rebuild, or the Lenin's heal is obviously out by now if it was a heal, but Beast does an excellent job and actually gets a little bit lucky with bouncing a lot of these shells from the Colorado and Lenin, secondary or main battery otherwise, and takes out the Lenin. But unfortunately, Beast goes down himself, leaving Legendary with quite the task. Because of our position, though, and because of Legendary's smart position, he gets broadside torpedoes on this Colorado, and you can see that those are tracking well. And this is just my camera view. I went in to see if he was going to get the Baltimore, because that's honestly the more important target. He actually gets the Colorado and the Baltimore, finishing off with a double strike to end the game. We would have lost on points if they would have survived, but an excellent game nonetheless. So if you haven't checked out Legendary's channel, he will comment, and you guys should click on his name. He's a great player. He does very well on Arena, and he actually makes a lot of my thumbnails. So double high caliber Confederate for Beast and myself, and a double strike with all three of us scoring above 26 or 2700. And that to me is one of the reasons I love division play. Without our division, our team would have lost that game. If I'm a solo player, our team would have lost that game. There were two divisions on the other team if you look at the beginning. So to simply say that divisions increase your win rate by 10% automatically is utter garbage in my opinion. It comes down to the player behind the helm executing in the game. And I think that is a reason why you should division up. Make sure you guys are in my Discord. I understand that not everyone is going to get high caliber type players to play with them every game, but if you're more into the teamwork and want some like-minded players, go ahead and hop into my Discord. But that is a great example of heavy cruiser play and what you should be doing, looking out for, and some tips and tricks along the way. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think about the quality, about the gameplay, and make sure you guys hop onto the Discord. Like, comment, and subscribe. It does all help the algorithm to help YouTube tell, and show other people. So I appreciate you guys. Everyone have a great day. Aaron out. Peace.